Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in today. All right. So, we're going to break down the top 3 to 5 Kent Hughes points from his midseason press conference addressing the current state of the Montreal Canadiens build, as he called it. He didn't even use the word rebuild this time because now they're now in the middle of it. So, now they're building, not just rebuild. I don't know. I'm just trying to come up with something here. First of all, can I just point out that I got this new Christmas present with the old school Montreal logo on this shirt. So, I'm wearing it today back from the well, I don't know exactly which season this one's from. It's up on the wall on my jersey there. I don't know if I can see it from here. I can't see it from here. So, regardless, the 2009 season, the Centennial season, they had these kinds of logos featured from the early stages of the Montreal Canadiens all the way up until 2009. So that's just fun. Anyway, so Kent Hughes, what did he talk about today, right? So, one of the first things he talked about actually was the progression of Logan Mailloux in Laval right now, and he credited some of that progression due to Arbor Jacki actually being sent down to the Laval Rocket. They've been playing together, and they've been playing really well together. And the Laval Rocket are on a hot streak right now, looking to make a playoff run. So, I mean, Kent Hughes was very happy with the coaching staff of the Laval Rocket and credited their staff, their development staff, their player development staff for working with these players to get them back on track to start winning a bunch of games as they have. And now they're on a playoff trajectory. Logan Mailloux voted into the All-Star game. So, yeah, Plus Bell has been rocking recently, right? So it's encouraging to see that the Laval Rocket are developing at a level that now has been producing results, right? Where they're getting wins, which is what we're hoping the Canadiens will actually start doing sooner than later in the seasons to come here. But yeah, so right now there's no urgency for Kent Hughes to move any defensemen, despite the logjam they might have of defensemen and more coming in, i.e. Lane Hutson, David Reinbacher, Logan Mailloux, Arbor Jacki when he comes back up. So there is only 6 spots available on the Montreal Canadiens at any given time on their roster, as we know. So there will be some pieces that will likely be moved. I predict it'll be something along the lines of Jaden Struble, Jordan Harris, Jonathan Kovacevic, David Savard, eventually Mike Matheson. The time isn't right yet, I don't think, to move him. You still need his veteran presence and experience. He does way too much on the blue line. You can't move him just yet. But also, Kent Hughes did mention Sean Monahan's situation and whether the Elliot Friedman rumors, if you will, were true, that they agreed that if Sean Monahan was, healthy at the trade deadline this year, that was part of the agreement of him signing this 1-year contract with the Canadiens for the $1.9 million deal, because Kent Hughes did confirm basically that, the door is open to a Monahan move should it be there, and the situation is still fluid. So in other words, without saying it, they're still willing to trade Sean Monahan and agree to move him before the trade deadline should that opportunity arise. Ken Hughes mentioning that the Canadiens have 22 draft picks in the next 2 drafts, and they don't plan in a perfect world to use all of them. They want to use them for trade capital, right? And he specifically mentioned again wanting to make another Kirby Dach, Alex Newhook-esque type of trade in order to address the Canadiens' need for scoring, right? So he mentioned, when asked about it, Stu Cowan asking how the Canadiens haven't had a point per game player since Alex Kovalev. They haven't had a top 10 scorer in the league since Mats Naslund. So what are they going to do to address that? Well, he referenced Patrice Bergeron, basically saying that Patrice Bergeron was not a point per game player, and he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, and look at the impact he had. Yes, credit to the players he played with, but Bergeron really was a big factor in that. So that's where you think of guys like Nick Suzuki, right? So is he going to be able to be a point per game player or close to it? And is that going to help the Canadiens be successful long term? I would say that it's the players that Nick is going to play with that are going to help determine Nick's success also. So we'll see if it's Caulfield and Suzuki long term. It may not be. They're going to address that. So the biggest 2 words to come out of this press conference from Kent Hughes that we learned about the plans of the rebuild going forward here at the halfway mark of the 23-24 season are no question. No question, they want to address the offense. There's no question at all. So does that mean the Canadiens are in a hurry to move any of the defensemen overload that they have out? They're not in a rush. No, they're going to wait until that opportunity presents itself in order to make that deal, as has always been the case. We didn't really learn a ton from Kent Hughes in this press conference, if you really think about it, because basically all he said was things are on track the way they always have been, the way we planned out from the beginning, and they're going to move the right pieces at the right time to improve this Canadiens top 6 forward group and make the defense group as best as it possibly can be, because they got a lot of defensemen and they got some good ones, right? You think of your Rhinebackers, your Mayus, your, you know, Caden Gooley on the left side, Arbor Jackeye, Lane Hudson coming in. He's going to be signed to his entry-level deal in the next couple months here. So they're not going to make any move quickly just to address the Canadiens' top six. They're going to have to do it. Also mentioning very specifically the cap flexibility that they're going to be afforded in the coming seasons as the cap goes up, as player contracts are removed from the Canadiens. That's actually a direct quote here. So as we continue to forward, we'll have more financial flexibility under the cap to evaluate things. That's the direct quote from Kent Hughes himself. So that is part of the process here as we move forward into the next draft, into the trade deadline here, into free agency, is that they're going to have more cap flexibility. So yes, they know, like all of us do, that we need more help on the top six for scoring. We know that. It's the greatest need on this team, period. We've known it for a while now. But you know what? They said they're going to do something about it. So we have to hope that they will when the time is right. It may not be this summer. It may be next summer, right? We'll see. The summer of 2025, to me, is going to be very interesting. I feel like that's when the Canadiens are going to really look to take the next big step forward, at least in terms of potentially a free agency deal or a draft deal. I just have a feeling about 2025 next summer. Don't ask me why. It just came to me now. So don't quote me, but if you want to quote me next year, if I end up being right, then wonderful. But the point is, the Canadiens are going to address the needs that are present in this franchise right now. Did we learn a ton? Not necessarily. I think we all kind of knew already what was already said from Kent Hughes, but the biggest positive right now overall is the Laval Rocket and the way they're performing and the way those players are developing, right? You see the smiles on those guys' faces. They're taking selfies after every game, after every win. There's good vibes to be had down there. So let's let the process play out. In due time, the Canadiens will get better. It'll happen when it needs to happen. It's going to continue along, and hopefully the Canadiens stay healthy when that happens also, because this year has not been a year for health again. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you after the Colorado and Montreal game. Jonathan Drouin making his return to Montreal, the first time since leaving the Montreal Canadiens. Arturi Lekkonen's injured in this game, so we won't see Lecky coming back, but we have seen him play at the Bell Center already. Jake Allen will get the start for the Montreal Canadiens against the Colorado Avalanche. No other lineup changes as per Martin St. Louis. So we'll see you guys after the Colorado-Montreal game. A lot more to talk about then. Thanks, guys, for watching. Hit like and subscribe. Almost at 5,000 subscribers. Please hit that button if you're here and you haven't done that already and you want to keep watching more of this channel. That subscription button will help you do that. So thank you very much, guys. See you soon.